One of the key components of Bonniwa is the rock. I brought in an assortment for this small project. You need a wide assortment unless you really... With these selected rocks, I'll go ahead and start. This one actually looks good on this side too, but I thought this side had just a little bit more features than the back side. Okay, and then you want to put sort of a complement but smaller, and then one on the other side. Now this 1, 2, 3, these two knots should be the same height. There should be the tall, middle, and shoulder. So something like this. And what I'm trying to do is to create so that we could put our water basin in there. After 1, 2, 3, well, let's put another one in. And generally, we like to put one that is flat surface because quite often they would put like a bamboo scoop to take the water out of the basin. So there should be one rock that is flat. And then after that, we need a stepping stone. So something that comes right there, and then you stand on here. Actually, you're going to squat, and then you're going to take the ladle-like thing and then scoop the water to wash your hand. So this is a stepping stone. And then to tie that together, this is not good. Maybe this one's better. So as it comes, we have some sort of path that comes along, walk along, and here we go to this. So that's sort of a... Now I brought out the water basins, and let's see how they work. I tried this one. It's definitely too small. This one, it just doesn't seem to go together. This may work. So I'll put this as possible. That's not bad either. Size-wise, it's okay. Maybe the color doesn't work. This is a little unusual one. I'm leaning towards that. I'm doing a trial fit of the plants. Should I go with something like this? Something a little larger, minus the weeds? Or should I go more classical shape? This seems like it could work if I could get the plant in the container safely. Now this box has a very shallow inside, so I'm not... This is a trail fit, and I think I could work with that. Everything seems proportional. The tree's going to get trimmed so that it won't look as dense, and it'll have a little more definition. It's still tentative, but based on the tree we have now and the whole presentation, this water basin might work the best. But we're still not for certain at this point. And this constant going back and forth and changing is a normal process. Now what I've done is to take that other small one that I had first and put it on the other side. That too needs trimming and a little bit of complementary rock to go with it, but I think this garden is coming along. What I'm going to do is take this rock And then I'm going to place it sort of like so that it complements this side, but definitely not more powerful than that other side. So that this is always going to be lower than that main rock. And also what that does is to help me bank the soil. So that's what this rock was for. Like I said, this should not overpower that. Actually, it might look better if it's slightly more tilted. See how the slight tilt makes a difference? And that's what Japanese garden and Bonniwa is all about. Working on exact detail, sense of proportion, things like that. When it comes together, it really comes together. Okay, I just turned this around a little bit so that I think it points towards each other. But I'm thinking perhaps, well, this too, the rock can be big, but it cannot get tall. And I'm thinking maybe this one here is a slightly different color. And because it's away from that side, I could use something like this and bury it so that it is or in proportion, so that this does not take away from that side. That is our main side right there. And that looks good. So while we're at it, I wonder if I should take this, replace it with this one. Sort of captures the color or the patina of this with that. Still not sure. That's okay. That's the way this process works, is we keep trying different combinations, and when it comes together, we'll know is the right combination. I'm beginning to have second thoughts about this rock. In terms of overall presentation, it's beginning to look too small or weak. So I brought a few others. This rock is actually much too big looking, yet when you place it in there, see how it kind of goes with the tree, and also it's going to help to bank that soil on this side. I brought another one here, but I think that one is going to work. But now that I've done this, then others will have to change to okay, this is the new arrangement. Still number 1, number 2, number 3, and the flat implement rock. And it's looking good. And this is beginning to look more and more like the one that's going to end up being our final selection, but still uncertain. You can't see from the camera angle, but this tree is leaning too far back. I need to bring it forward, so I'll repack the soil. And these are the things you have to be doing all the time. Don't be looking always from the front. You have to look from all sides, make sure that everything is coming together. Just about right there. Then because of the bigger rock, I could put more soil and it will help this plant. As I look at this overall presentation, I'm thinking, I wonder if we need something there. And I'm going to take this rock that used to be our original main rock and use it like this. Now, this is more dominant than this. This is the most dominant, number 1, number 2, number 3, so this has to really be low. But if we go something like that, that seems to work. We probably should do some trial fit with the lanterns. Now, once again, on the lanterns, I have all different kinds, different sizes, different colors, different shapes. couple places that could work. That might work. So this is a possibility. Another spot that we could try is right here. So if that's the case, something like that, and here it will light the stepping stone. If you have it back here, it will light that. So that's sort of the logic that you have to go with. Now there's another possibility of something like this. But these must go on a rock. So in order to use that, we have to find a rock that will fit and sit on top of that. And this one seems, for this particular setup, the least likely. And also, size is very important. So right now, I think we're probably looking at either this one as being one of the choices, or this one being the other choice. So I think I'm going to narrow down to that. We're still uncertain about the water basin, and all these things will come together as we finalize. I just added one more stepping stone. I move this one, and added one more. And what I thought was, now instead of this straightness, it has the more meandering. So in your imagination, there should be a stepping stone here and here, and thought that would really complement this better. It just draws your eye in. This height seems a little bit high. So all these little adjustments happen all the time before you finish up. And I'm still looking at the two lanterns. I'm almost tempted to leave two lanterns in there just to say we're rich. But now, having cleaned this up, it seems almost like I should have an indication of a rock back here. Now, this one has to be lower than this, so you have to really tuck it in. But that also helps to keep the slope together, but it just gives you just something in the background, because I took the foliage off of there, and now it looks like it needed that. This is just a slight hint that there's something way in the distance. The longer I stay with this project, the more I'm inclined to use that water basin. Now I have the other decision of the lantern, which one to use. And this is what I'm beginning to think. I still need to put the water spigot. So what if I took this one out and put the water spigot in its place? Something like that. And I think that more or less completes this project, except tidying up with moss, fertilizer, all the stuff that I always done. So basically, I think now that you've seen the process, I'm going to finish this up and then show you the finished product. So I'll be adding the time release fertilizer like I